Welcome to another episode of Scottish Football Matters. Myself, Murray, and my good friend Lorenzo.
Hello.
This week we're going to have a wee chat about the Scotland game against Japan. We'll talk about Scott Brown leaving Ayr United. We'll have a wee chat on the injury situation, obviously with Julian Araujo at Celtic, and there's a couple of sort of transfer rumours going about. Then we'll do the predictions for next weekend's games. How's things?
Aye, okay, mate.
Uh,
Just obviously missing the domestic action because that game at the weekend wasn't very good. It was a poor watch.
friendlies are like that, aren't they? I mean, I quite enjoyed the playoff games for the Thursday night.
I watched the Italian game. I thought the Italian game was good
I was
eventually,
flitting between that and the Wales Bosnia game. I thought
Mhm.
both games were good.
but I was happy that Italy
Uh,
won. So yeah, chuffed.
I know it sounds really selfish, but see, as a Scotland fan,
Mhm.
I was quite happy to see Wales, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland go out, just
Why?
because I think it's about time that Scotland get some of the limelight. And whenever
What?
you go to these tournaments, do you know what I mean? It's like you already get like 90% England coverage, and see to share that last 10%
Mhm.
with other countries. I know it sounds tight, but I just thought, fuck it.
No,
Like,
the only
it's
ones,
nice
the
to
only ones for the British Isles is us in England. That's the only two that have qualified. So
exactly. Do you know what I mean? So, whereas if Wales had made it, there'd have been a wee section on Wales, you'd had wee bits on the
Mhm.
islands if they'd made it, and it's just like,
Aye. I did
fuck
want the
that.
Republic to make it. To be fair,
I
I did.
just don't care about them. And they're pish as well, to be honest. I mean, they've got a great striker in that Parrot, but the rest of their team's honking. Like,
Aye.
I know they did well to get 2-0 up against Czech, but they're not a good team either. Um, but it's set up some interesting playoff finals because
Mhm.
you've obviously got what Bosnia, Italy,
Italy,
which
aye. Where is that getting played?
in Bosnia. I
Oh, is it? I thought it was back in
was
Italy
going to
again.
say I don't know that I don't know that I favour Italy that much because I don't think they were great against
They
Northern
weren't
Ireland. I thought they
great.
were decent.
They weren't
I thought
great.
they
No,
did
no.
enough,
Aye.
but I don't think they were great.
I thought the big guy up front is it Moises?
Moise Keane,
Keane.
yeah,
I thought he deserved a goal because
puts himself about.
he was at it all
Uh,
night. Aye.
I mean, the other games, I'll just check it because tomorrow. So you get Czech Republic, Denmark. I fancy Denmark quite strongly just because I don't think much of Czech, to be honest. I know Schick's decent up front, but
Mhm.
beyond that, they've not got much.
Patrick Schick
Kosovo,
gave me the fear because
no,
he was the one that scored that big long range effort
halfway
like
line.
into David Marshall.
Kosovo, Turkey, I think will be close. I think people just think Turkey will win, but see, because it's in Kosovo,
hmm
I think that's 50-50 for me. It really is.
Aye.
And I think Sweden will beat Poland. Um,
Does
in
Lewandowski
Sweden,
still play? Is he retired?
I still plays, but the big boy at Arsenal plays for Sweden, and then I know
Mhm.
Isak can't play the now, but Sweden, and then
Aye.
Sweden's got some
And
good players.
aye,
Nygren plays,
Benji Nygren, that's right, Benji Nygren.
yeah, but he's not a good player. He's a good goal scorer
Aye,
though.
he's a good goal scorer. He plays well for Sweden, by all accounts. He does. So
Honestly, I mean, I mean, the away sides are all favourites, right? Italy against Bosnia, Denmark against Czech,
mhm.
Turkey to go to Kosovo, and Poland to go to Sweden. But you'd be surprised if all four away teams won.
Aye, I
And
suppose you
I
would.
just think it will be Italy, Denmark will win away from home. But
Right.
I could see Sweden beating Poland, and I could really see Kosovo beating Turkey.
Aye, the Kosovo Turkey one's a kind of tasty one, isn't it? It's
I
a
think if it
tasty
was in
one.
Turkey, I'd be all over Turkey. But
hmm
they don't travel great. You
No,
know, they've
that's right.
never travelled great as a country. I don't know. Could be interesting. And but back onto Scotland, I think it was just a typical friendly.
Poor,
I think
poor
there was
game.
some positives. I thought Gunn looked decent in goals.
hmm
Um, I thought McKenna and Hendry looked okay.
Aye.
Considering they were up against a decent Japan forward line, I thought
Yeah.
Patterson handled Maeda fine defensively. I don't
hmm
think he done very well going forward. But to be honest, Andy Robertson didn't do very well going forward. You know,
No,
and
no, I did not.
no one did really.
No.
I thought um, McLean and Ferguson were a bit meh. They did okay, but they didn't do anything wrong, but they didn't do anything good either.
hmm
McTominay missed a sitter.
Yep.
Dykes put himself about but got no support.
I know it was only one
Um,
game, right? I know it's only one game, one friendly so far we've
yeah.
played before the World Cup. But did anybody that's just come into the squad that's maybe no been called up before that got a chance? Did they impress you about getting on the plane to go to
Um,
America or not?
well, a couple did I. I thought Patterson made me think he's a step up from Ralston, but I've always felt that. But
Aye.
until you see him on the pitch,
I think Donovan's a
you,
step up for Ralston at
so I would say
Celtic.
that. I don't think we can judge Finlay Curtis for 10 minutes. I'll Conway didn't do enough for me to say in 80 minutes. Do you know what I mean? He
Hmm.
certainly didn't do any more to sort of say, oh, he should go. Um, Not really, if I'm honest. Hurst again flatters to receive. Every time I see him, I kind of go,
Why does he get in the squad?
"Are you there?"
Exactly. The boy Conway, does he ever get a chance? I mean, Tommy Conway.
No, but he plays for Middlesbrough, so he's doing okay. But like,
Aye.
he didn't, he didn't look great, you know.
No,
But
I
I
suppose.
don't think anyone did.
Yeah.
I thought Gilmore looked really good when he came on,
Hmm.
but he always does. Like,
Well,
he,
he's put it this way. He's consistent when he plays for Scotland. He's been
and
consistent.
he
So,
played he played a good bit higher up, which
aye.
I've not seen him do. I always think him as more of a six, but he was playing more like an attacking mid, which I don't like, if I'm honest, because I think he should be controlling games so that you've got your better players, like
Hmm.
your not better players, but more goal threat.
Yeah.
I thought Christie looked okay when he came on. Uh,
Looked okay.
Aside
Looked all
for
right.
that, I mean, I expect Adams will start tomorrow because I'm guessing that's why he went with those two
Hmm.
just to get a wee look at them. I would like to see him start Curtis just to see him get an hour and say, well, is he good enough? Because
Do you
I
think he'll
don't
play a
think
different goalkeeper? Do you think he'll play Gunn again, or do you think he'll play somebody different?
um, to me, I would probably give Kelly and Bain 45 each because I know what Angus Gunn can do, um,
I think Gunn will
but he
probably be
needs
the first
minutes.
choice keeper at the World
Uh,
Cup, barring
and
injury, of course. But
Gordon will go to the World Cup. So if we're talking about Kelly or Bain,
it's
one
one
of
of them.
them's third choice. Give them
Hmm.
45 minutes each and see
That's an idea, isn't it?
who
That's
impresses. But yeah, McKenna was the only one that really impressed me. If I'm honest, I thought he strolled it. Um, I think he always looks good, but what worries me is who plays next to him because I don't think much of Hendry.
Hmm.
I think even less of Grant Hanley.
Oh, aye, well, Hanley for me shouldn't
And
be going to the World Cup.
to be totally honest, if I'm not basing this on his Scotland form, but if we're looking at John Souttar's recent form, he would worry me at
Aye.
centre back. But at the same time, when he's played for Scotland, I don't think he's really let them down.
What
But
about the boy? What about the boy Hendry?
I think he's okay. Like I've always quite liked him, but he does worry me.
He's another one that's kind of hot and cold,
But
isn't
they
he?
all kind of worry me. I don't think I'd like to see that Dominic Hyam get 90 minutes tomorrow to see if he's better because he might be.
No. Aye, you
Well, he
never
can't
know.
be much worse. Aside for that, I think I expect Ralston will get some minutes tomorrow.
Hmm.
Try to think who else. Maybe Lennon Miller. I mean, he's a player that I
Aye,
want to see more of.
I would like to see
Um,
him go to the World Cup as part of the squad as well. I really would.
Only if we're going to use him.
Well,
Otherwise,
that's right. You don't
you
want to
know,
take him and no play him at all. I mean, I think did Thingman do that at the Euros? Did he not take James Forrest and he hardly played him? And you're
I
thinking
don't think he did. Did he bring him on maybe a minute to go against Hungary or
against
something? Or something
Hungary, I
ridiculous like that.
expected him to work miracles, and you're like, come on. I mean,
But we
the
the
reason
weird
I'm
thing
using
is,
Forrest as the example is because Forrest at that point was playing really well for Celtic. He
yeah,
was,
yeah, he was.
and he deserved his place at the tournament.
What worries me is that Scotland's records in friendlies is terrible, and
Aye, there.
I would like to see us go into the World Cup with some momentum. So I think we're going to need to choose these friendlies in June, May, June time better. I know we've got Curacao at home,
Could
but I
he? Would
don't
he?
know. They're the team for like the kind of Central America. I think it's Central America or something like that. But
Right.
I know they've got a lot of Dutch players. I think they're, they're a weird one, but yeah, I mean we're going to play them before we go, and then
Hmm.
over there I think we're playing Norway behind closed doors,
Right.
and we're playing one game. I don't know who it's against, but in the heat.
Did
So
Norway make the World Cup? No.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, they
yeah.
did. They did.
But
Right.
they're in a
Right.
mental group with is it France, Norway, Ivory Coast, or Senegal, maybe Senegal. It's just some.
Right.
I know it's a tough group.
That's
That's
a
all I
group of
remember
death
because
then, like
I
kind of like that.
I remember looking at it thinking France might struggle.
Ah, we've got a horrible group as well, though. We've practically got the same group as France '98, apart from Haiti.
Do you know? I looked at their scores from the other day, and Brazil got beat against 10 men. France,
But is it with
Haiti.
Scotland? But every
I know,
time we qualify for a World Cup, we get Brazil in the
I
group.
know,
Every time. It's as if we're stuck to them like a magnet.
I know. But I don't think they're what they once were. But put
Oh,
it this
maybe
way,
no.
I don't think they're anywhere near the favourites.
No, well, they won't
Whereas
be.
most World Cups I think of, Brazil are in the top 3 or 4 teams. This time I think they're about six, seventh, eighth first team maybe.
And was it the 2014 World Cup in Brazil? They go. Would you call it hammered off? Who was it? They
Oh,
got hammered off
Germany.
in the
Germany no
semi-final.
club
Germany.
them. Aye,
I
like
think absolutely
seven.
hammered,
Aye.
and it
And
was
I
like
look at their
all
squad.
the fans were in tears. It was
The
mental.
only thing that gives them a chance, I think, is Ancelotti,
Hmm.
is the fact that he's a brilliant manager that is good in knockout football.
Aye.
I don't think they'll be the Brazil of old. Like, I don't think they'll be pumping anyone 4-0. I think they'll be almost Italian like, and it
Hmm.
might be 1-0s and 2-1s. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, with Scotland, you've just got to hope that when we get there, we need to go all guns blazing against Haiti.
We have to get some. If we don't
Get
beat
that.
Haiti, then you can forget it.
If we get that 3 points, then you've got a chance.
Hmm.
It gives you a chance that one more point would pretty much guarantee going through, but three might be enough,
Hmm. But to get through,
depending.
even if we only got 3 points in the whole 3 games.
You would need 4 groups to finish with like the third and fourth teams drawing a game and losing
Aye.
to, which could
Hmm.
happen.
It could happen.
So,
But then you don't want to rely on that. You don't
but to
really want to have
happen
to rely on that.
in 4 groups is probably unlikely. I think it could happen in 2 or maybe 3.
What we're going to have to try and do is beat Haiti by a good margin if we can,
Yeah,
and then try and get a point against Morocco or try and
I
beat
think
Morocco.
I think a point against Morocco is possible, just
Hmm.
because I'm not sure how good they are. I think when they were underdogs 4 years ago, it's a lot different when people expect you to do well. And I don't
Aye.
know. I just think that like we shouldn't be scared of them. Like see all their strikers. I reckon John Souttar's played against nearly all of them. Like he's played against El Kabi for
Aye.
Olympiacos. He's played against El Naziri for Fenerbahce. I don't think Igaman is going to make it because he done his ACL. But Rangers and Celtic players have come up against Hakimi before. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be scared.
No,
You
we
know,
shouldn't.
it,
But
it's a lot different when in France '98 we didn't know the Morocco players. Not really in terms of he didn't play against them in European football season after season after season. And but now everyone you know everyone, you know their strengths and their weaknesses.
hmm
Unfortunately, that also goes for Scotland. That because some of the boys are doing so well in Italy, you know, they know about our strengths as well. So I don't think we can shock
aye.
anyone. So I don't know. How I'll feel about the World Cup. Well, I'll tell you more in June. Do you know what I mean? I think it's too difficult now to really judge it because
Hmm.
it's March in it and friendlies just are rotten. So,
Aye, they are. They're terrible.
um, but yeah, I suppose on to more Scottish football news. What do you make of Scott Brown? I mean, it's not really a shock based on recent form.
I know they've no won a game for a
They've
while,
dropped down to
so
eighth, haven't they?
aye. Um,
But at the same time, when you look at that table, they're still like 4 points off of fifth or something
That's crazy.
ridiculous. So
It's a crazy league, yeah.
I mean, I was looking at the table there. It is like I don't want to say that he deserved to be sacked because but they're not on a good run, you know. But yeah, I mean they are. Sorry, they're 1 point off of fifth.
Mhm.
1 point off of fifth.
Well, are they? And they're
Aye,
eighth,
yep.
right? Oh, so that just shows you how tight that league is.
But they
So they
are.
can still could they still make the playoffs in the top
They're
four?
5 points behind Dunfermline,
Right.
who have a game in hand.
Oh well, they probably won't make
But
the
the
playoffs
problem
then.
is that they're only 7 in front of Ross County, who are
Mhm.
ninth, and 8 in front of Airdrie, who are bottom. So I suppose maybe they're thinking we need a win. We need maybe a win or two.
Mhm.
But I looked at the fixtures, right, and it's tricky, right, because they've got 6 games left, right,
Yeah.
and their games are home to Partick, which you would say lose, right, based on Partick being second, right.
Mhm. Based on the fact they're chasing promotion.
Home to Dunfermline, I would argue it's not easy the way Dunfermline are chasing fourth.
Yep.
Home to Arbroath, again, a team third place. So they want to see if they lost those three. The next two, right, are away to Ross County, who
Mhm.
might have closed the gap. Away to Airdrie, who again might have closed the gap, and then they
Mhm.
finish off against St Johnstone, who could be fighting for a title. Um, I don't want Ayr to go down because I like Ayr.
No, I like.
I've always
Well,
thought of Ayr as being a team that I don't see them as a Premiership team, but they're a team that I wouldn't mind seeing every 4 or 5 years.
I didn't mind them. I didn't mind them up until today when I found out Scott Brown wasn't there. So wherever Scott
But,
Brown goes, I'll kind of follow the team that he manages because I
but
like Scott Brown
I
obviously. But
just, as I said, I think I've always liked the Ayr Kilmarnock kind of rivalry. It's good to have an Ayrshire
I don't
rivalry,
think
but
I don't think Ayr United, well, to my knowledge in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever remembered them being in the Premier League. Don't think so.
I
Unless they
just
were in
think
it when I was really wee and I don't
uh,
remember. But
I just think they would have been a good addition. But they look Arbroath look more likely to go
I
up
would
this
like to
year.
see Arbroath up in the Premier, but I'd also like to see Partick Thistle get back up.
That's a tough one, and I think
Aye.
it's going to be between them, if I'm honest, because
Hmm.
I don't think Dunfermline are as strong as those two.
But then you're
Uh,
like that. If Arbroath came up to the Premier, their stadium isn't the greatest. You
yeah,
know what I
but was
mean?
St Johnstone's was Ross County's?
No, but Arbroath Stadium's only got one seated section. I mean, obviously, I go to Arbroath games when
No,
I
I
go to
get
Arbroath.
that, but
It's only one seated section in the whole of the rest of it's standing.
I know, but it's still a stadium, and
Aye, I
I've been there
know.
for Scottish Cup games, and it's still a good wee atmosphere.
They're like a cracking. It's the pitch is a cracking pitch. It's better
Uh,
than some of the top flight pitches you see with that plastic nonsense.
or Tannadice.
Aye, well, oh aye, sandpit.
But no, I think it didn't surprise me, but they'll need to get a replacement in soon because, as I said, those fixtures don't look the easiest. Um, but I suppose it's one of those leagues that everyone's fighting for something, isn't they? Because
Aye.
I've just listed all those teams that are within 1 point. I mean, they'll all be looking at Dunfermline thinking they're there to be caught.
Hmm.
So I don't think they're particularly strong either. I wouldn't say that Dunfermline are really any better than Wraith, Morton,
No, they aren't.
Ayr. There's sort of much a much. There's not much between all of them.
Hmm.
But it's a shame for Brown because obviously he was trying to build a career. But in a lot of cases, though, if you're going to become a good young manager, you kind of need to lose your job to
I think he'll get
maybe
another one.
reevaluate. But I mean, I wondered whether you'd be in the running for St Mirren, but not now, I suppose, with that. But
Well, you don't know. Take a chance. You never know. They keep.
it looks like they've kept that boy on till the end of the season, haven't they, McLeish?
Aye.
Which makes sense, I think, given the two performances under him. I mean, they,
Mhm.
they weren't terrible against Rangers, and then they went to Falkirk and won. So he probably deserves the end of the season. But then, would they hit panic button
Mm,
if they drop into the bottom two, or they're really struggling, or if they lose to Aberdeen? Yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know. Because look at
Who
Tottenham.
knows?
Look at Tottenham. They had a manager to end the season, and now he's gone, and
Aye,
now they're
that's
looking at
Tottenham.
Desiree.
An absolute basket case of a football club.
They could go down, which would be
Aye, they
funny.
might.
But what did you make of Araujo out for 6 to 8 weeks? I mean, by
Uh,
my timeline, that puts them around the last game of the season. Scottish Cup finals about 8 weeks away.
I
He
know.
could play again.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know. I just
as
before
I
we've
said,
moved on, I've brought that up just before we move on.
what could they have? What could they have changed?
Changed. Well, no, let's be
Not a
honest.
lot.
Not
Like
much.
Japan are a good team. They're 19th in the world. They're better than Scotland. Um,
That's right.
what I would say though is maybe they could have tried two up front. Like I'd have thought you had Adams and Hurst on the bench when he brought Hurst on. I think he could have went two up top, because I don't feel we've done that much under Steve Clarke. I think we done
Yep.
it against Denmark and got a 0-0, but I feel like the way to get at Japan is physicality, because they're
They're
not a
a side. They're
physical
a good
team.
side, but they're a good
They
side.
are good, but they're not physical. Like
No.
you could bully them.
Aye, but they're really well organised. They're a well
They are,
organised side.
but I don't think we've played to our strengths. I think
I
we
don't think
almost played
Scotland.
to their strengths by sitting off them and letting them have the ball. They're a good football team.
Most of the time, Scotland don't play to their strengths because they don't pick the right players to play in certain games. You know.
So for me, the answer to that question would be, because it was a friendly, you could have changed the formation, tried something different.
Aye, tried something new.
Possibly if you're bringing on Curtis, bring him on with Conway. Try two
Mhm.
wingers.
Aye.
See what that would be like. Try and get two players high and wide.
Yep.
Because we often play with one and like a centre mid out there, and it doesn't really work all the time. It works in certain games, but
Aye.
yeah. So that would what I'd say to that is we could have tried different formations,
Mhm.
but
Aye.
Steve Clarke's quite rigid.
Oh, he is. He's very, very. What's the word?
Um,
He's very, very stubborn. Aye, that
yeah,
was the word I was going to.
he's,
Aye.
he's, he's, he's stuck to it, but it's worked.
He's stuck in his own ways, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
stuck in his
it's
own ways.
certainly worked though in terms of getting us to finals, but
Tournaments, aye. But when we get
will it
there
work?
to the
Aye.
tournament, we don't do anything. That's the
Yeah.
problem. But
Yep.
yeah.
But
In
yeah,
terms of
so Araujo, aye.
Araujo,
So I mean, he could be back for, I would say, the last game of the season, Scottish Cup final. That would be sort of 7, 8 weeks. So I wouldn't rule it out. But
I'm absolutely gutted though because
do you
I thought
throw
he
a guy
was.
like that in? I mean, because Johnson would be back by then.
Aye,
But I suppose it's a good
if
option to
Johnson's
have.
fit enough, then you'd play Johnson, obviously. But
But it doesn't look like Johnson will be back for another, what is it, 2 weeks? So
aye, so
who
it's
plays
Donovan or
right back?
Ralston.
Because I thought, did Donovan no go off injured?
Probably be Ralston then, unless he
Because
gets injured in this international break, then we're gubbed.
Donovan went off, didn't he, against Dundee United?
Ah, that's
And
right,
he
he did.
pulled out the under 21s. So
hmm
that was my only concern, was
But
that
I
you
didn't
don't want
realise.
to.
I thought Johnson was going to be back kind of after the break. I didn't realise
You
he would.
don't
He
want to
would
see
do.
Hatate at right back again, because that didn't work.
Oh no, no.
Um, so, but then it might give him an opportunity to go to the back three
Well, that's what I would do. I mean,
and play
if he's
Yang right wing
aye,
back, and
play five in the middle, 3-5-2. That's what I would. His
yeah,
old formation, play 3-5-2.
yeah, because he used to play a Gat that right wing back, and I'm
Aye,
pretty sure Yang could do that.
and he done. It was it Thompson or Petter he had on the left.
Usually Thompson,
Aye,
but it's certainly doable. But he seems reluctant to change the formation,
I know. I
Martinelli,
just don't. I
which
don't get it. Maybe he's thinking he just doesn't have the players to play that formation. That's maybe in his thinking. I don't know.
I
But
disagree though.
I
I
saw they are.
disagree,
Go
because
with
I
two up
don't think he's got the players to stick to the formation you're trying to play.
because
I
he's
don't
not
think
going
you're
to.
good
He's not
enough
going
to
to
play
play. He's
four at
not
the
going to
back.
play the Nancy formation, is he? He's not going to do the 3-4-3.
I wonder if that's the problem. Is that any change to three at the back
Might
people
spook
might
them.
give you the fear.
It might spook them back into the
So I
Nancy kind
wonder
of.
if maybe he's tried it in training and they just like
It might.
devoid of all confidence.
He might have done because we don't know what goes on in training. So
Uh,
could have done it.
There's a couple of transfer rumours kind of things going about. Rabbi Matondo looks like he's going
Mm-hmm.
to Brann in Norway, which I think is a good move for him.
On a free, you said?
Free transfer, and I think Rangers have possibly
A clause in his
organised a sort of
transfer?
a sell-on fee if he gets sold again. But do you know
Ah,
what? Gets him
that's
off
like
the
a,
wage
is that
bill.
like a clause in the contract? It's a kind
Aye.
of, aye.
So if they
But
sell
see if
him
he's a
for,
free, but what I don't get is, see if he's a free agent,
but he's
how
not a
can they
free agent
dictate?
till June. He's not a free agent till June, so they're getting him in March.
But
So we've
they're not
maybe
paying for
added
him.
on. They're not paying it in the now, so they're not paying
Oh,
it in
so
the now.
are they actually paying money for him though, or do they get
No,
him for
no,
free?
they were getting him for free, but his contract's up in June, so they're getting him 2 months early or 3 months
Right,
early.
right.
And for that, we've asked for, let's just say, 10% of the sell on. So if they sell him for 2 million, we get 200k. So
All right.
essentially, we're negotiating a small fee that we'll get back
Mm-hmm.
um,
Ah,
if they sell him, obviously.
mm-hmm.
Big if. But
That's a good fine.
because the big if, Rabbi Matondo, it's not about talent. He's a talented boy, but the boy's made of glass. I mean, he's been at Rangers for what 3-4 years, and
Many
you can
games has
only
he played?
think of
Has he played? He's not played
50.
100 games, has he?
No, no, no,
No.
no. And I bet
15?
he scored a bit 50 games. I would say
Oh,
he's
50.
played.
I thought you said
No, 50.
15.
But I think he scored like 10 or 12 goals, so he's not been terrible. But
Mm-hmm.
if you
Obviously,
can't stay fit,
your pick of the bunch would be the goal he scored against us, eh?
actually no, he scored one the week before against Hibs that was better. I mean, that one obviously was nice because it was a 90th minute, but it was an equaliser. I don't count
That wasn't a
equalisers
winner. It
aren't.
wasn't a winner,
You know,
aye.
whereas you don't look if you look at the Hattati penalty one that he scored a last minute equaliser, it's great in the moment, but you don't remember it the same way you do a winner.
I would rather. But the thing that annoys
Aye,
me is I thought Young's goal was a cracker, but it means nothing
aye,
because we
it
get beat.
means nothing in a defeat, aye, but
Because we get beat.
well.
Mhm.
But I think also it looks like Rangers are making moves to sign the boy Graham for Dundee, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Graham,
Uh, he's a big centre back.
right?
I think Rangers and
But
Celtic
they done
both.
this. Did they not sign another boy for Dundee and they've loaned him out to somewhere?
Cameron, yeah, but
Aye, Lyle Cameron.
it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. So I mean,
No, but the thing is,
like
you,
we
you
used with
bring him
Dundee
in and what
United,
happens? He might be Oscar, no? He might know.
he might, but like
Might not work.
when you signed Armstrong and Mackay Stephen, they both didn't work. Armstrong was good, Mackay Stephen was hopeless. But
I thought Mackay Stephen was all right to an extent. He was
he
okay.
was, but again, he was another one that couldn't stay fit.
No,
And
that's right.
but I think with Lyle Cameron, I think he'll get more of a chance next year because I would imagine that Nico Raskin and Diomande might not be there, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So maybe the pathway into the team won't be as difficult as it's been. Because I still think there's a player in Lyle Cameron, and Rangers need more of a Scottish identity. So
Because they don't really have it, do they?
getting Cameron and Graham and still having Suter for me, we need more. You know, I
Mm.
wouldn't be stopping there.
Aye.
I'd be looking at Barney Stewart. I said this a few weeks ago. I don't see anything in Barney Stewart that doesn't make me think he's an upgrade on any of our strikers.
Well,
Now, I do think that
it,
Nadiri looks a
he's
good
probably
footballer.
he's
You know,
probably an upgrade on your strikers. I know. I
Uh,
know. To be fair,
well, I think Nadiri looks like a good, hard-working guy. He runs about, works, puts himself about. But
Mhm.
Barney Stewart scored 12 SPL goals. Our strikers, I don't know if they've done that between them.
Probably
Well, we
not.
know that Chamiti scores against Celtic and Hearts, but like I
Aye,
want my strikers to score against Falkirk and Dundee United and Hibs and St Mirren and Motherwell. You need to score against everyone.
that's
And
right. If you want to be a top striker for a club, you need to be scoring regular
and
goals against
and
most of
we
the
could get
teams.
away with Chamiti scoring those goals if Miovski was banging in the goals against the other teams. That'd be
Hmm.
fine. But he's not
Aye,
done that either. Although I think
no.
Miovski's been given less of a chance than the other two. I'll be if I'm being fair.
So what was the thing with Miovski that happened? Did he get recalled by Rangers or did he just get
No, Rangers
told to get him?
recalled him. I think
All
Rangers
right,
recalled him.
but was
Aye.
he no raging about it? He wasn't very happy.
No, I think he was raging that he only got about 5 minutes for Macedonia,
Oh,
and
against
obviously they
Denmark,
got beat. But
they get beat. Aye.
he didn't want to play the friendly, and Rangers didn't want him playing the friendly because It's a fucking friendly, and
He
we've
could get
got a game
injured, but
against Dundee United next week.
but he could get injured against Dundee United as well. So
She could, but he's our player,
I know, I
and
know.
I'm all for the players playing meaningful games like
I,
playoffs.
well, look,
But these friendlies,
Big
no,
John Kennedy get injured, and it ruined his career. He get injured in a
they're a
friendly
friendly.
against Romania. Horrible tackle. So I know what
Look
you
at
mean.
Ali McCoy's broken leg. That was against Portugal. Was that not a friendly?
Might have been. I can't really
Uh,
remember, but could have been.
so it happens,
Mhm.
but they don't
Unfortunately,
all come back like that, though. You know, I mean, John
no.
Kennedy wasn't lucky to come back.
No,
The
he
same
came
with,
back for a wee while, wasn't he? He
aye.
didn't play very long, but he came back for a wee while and then he just chucked it.
But I suppose we can move on to just predict the weekend's games. I'll run through them with you. So Saturday we have.
Hmm.
I'll just take you through the lot of them. We have Hibs against Kilmarnock. For me, I'm going to have to go Hibs, right? Just because I'm yet to see Kilmarnock show that home form away.
Hmm.
And I
Aye.
thought Hibs actually played some decent stuff against Motherwell. I know they got a 0-0, but I thought they looked solid enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking in there. So I think I'm going to say 3-1 to Hibs.
Right.
What are you going with?
I'll go 2-1 Hibs. I think they'll win, but it might not be as
Yeah.
much as 3.
I
Because
just
I
don't.
can
I
see
don't.
Kilmarnock scoring. I can see Kilmarnock scoring a
Yeah,
goal.
same here, but I just don't fancy them away from home.
No.
Motherwell Falkirk. I'm going to take Motherwell to end their run, but it'll be 1-0. Not much in it. I think Maswini will find a goal because he's not scored in weeks, has he?
No.
I could just see that one being really tight, negative, but and also Falkirk are. You can see them getting a wee bit scared that they're not over the line yet in 6.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I wonder if that's playing on the player's mind, and I
Could
think it
be.
might do again. And I'm going to say 1-0, 1-0 Falkirk. Sorry, 1-0 Motherwell.
Motherwell, Motherwell.
It's at Motherwell, so
I think
although
Motherwell will win, but I think it'll
Falkirk
be
did win there.
like I think it'll be like the Kilmarnock game. I think it'll be 2-1 to Motherwell. I think they'll score maybe late on to win it. I think it'll be tight and it'll be a
Okay.
late winner.
Now, I know I'm dismissing the Rangers game as the big one, but for me, the biggest game of the day is St Mirren Aberdeen in terms of what that could do to the relegation fight.
Aye,
Um,
that is a biggie, innit? It's a 6 pointer, isn't it?
do you know what?
Is it a 6 pointer?
I,
Is that what you would call a six
I mean,
pointer?
that's what you call it. I don't know. I'm tempted to go St Mirren, but if anyone's going to know the St Mirren players, it's Robinson,
Of course it will. Aye.
and he must get a tune out of this Aberdeen team at some point.
And plus the fact with the
And St
international
Mirren are the
break
lowest, and
being,
they're the
and he said
lowest
the extra,
scorers at home, aren't they?
he said a long time to work with him because of the international break as
Right,
well.
okay,
So
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to go St Mirren 1, Aberdeen 2. I think he'll just have enough.
I think
And I could see that Olisanya scoring against his old club.
because he's had the extra time to work with him, I think it'll be 3-0 to Aberdeen. I think
Oh,
they'll win 3-0.
Jesus, that's bold.
That is bold, but they've got to start winning at some point.
Yep. Rangers Dundee United. I think this will be close. I don't think Rangers. I don't think it'll be like Aberdeen, where, let's be honest, Rangers won comfortably
That was
in
easy. Too
about
easy.
first or second gear.
That was too easy.
I don't think we'll get away with winning in first or second gear, but I also think the Rangers will have too much for Dundee United.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say 2-1,
Right.
but
To
more on the
Rangers, right?
comfortable 2-1, if you get what I mean. Like, you know how you have those games where you're 2-0 up and you don't quite get that third, and then they get one back, and it's a shit
Hmm.
scary end to the game.
Hmm.
I could see it being something like that. Maybe Dundee United scoring in the last 10 minutes and Rangers just holding on.
I know it's at Ibrox, isn't it? So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I still think Dundee United,
Well, we've drawn with
because of
them
what they did
twice.
against Celtic, I
We've
still think they'll either finish a draw or Dundee United, I'll say, might sneak it.
I can't see them. I mean, they've drawn twice with Rangers this season, right?
Hmm.
But I'm going to be honest, in those games, one of them was under Stevie Smith, where he just obviously taken over from the sacked Russell Martin.
Aye.
And the other one, To be fair, Dundee United deserved their point at Tinnery. I think we scored a late penalty, but Dundee United have scored absolute worldies against Rangers this year.
Aye.
I mean,
They have,
worldies.
aye.
Um,
Was it Sibbald that scored a cracker?
Sybil scored a belter, Sapsford scored a belter,
Mhm.
Trapanovsky scored a good goal, and so did Fata.
Is
I just
Trapanovsky
think
still there?
I think he's injured, but
Is he? Because he's not played for a while.
I think he
Just
came on
wondering.
in the Dundee derby. I'm pretty sure
Right.
I've seen his name.
Because you never know, they might score a worldie again at Ibrox.
I think they might as well, but I think
Aye.
Rangers will win 2-1, and
Right.
I think Miovski might score a double. I just think that he has to start because Chomiti offers nothing.
He
Uh,
scores against the big clubs, but he offers nothing.
he offers nothing against anyone else though.
Aye, well.
So Miovski, whereas I think Miovski can score goals against the, shall we say,
Aye, but only
lesser
if he's
teams.
confident. If he's not confident, he won't score.
He's a striker though. If you get
I
him
know.
chances, and let's be honest, Rangers are creating chances.
I think strikers
Problem
play
is,
on confidence, though. Do you know what I mean?
they do, but all it takes is one to get in. And look at how well he took that goal against Aberdeen. I know it was disallowed because
Aye,
of the handball, but that was a cracking finish. That
that
didn't
was.
look like a player that was lacking confidence.
Well, maybe no, no.
So to me, I think Rangers will win 2-1, and I think Miovski will get a goal at least. Um,
Right.
but that takes us on to Super Sunday. Is that what we're calling
Mm.
it?
Is that what we're
Uh,
calling it? I don't
yeah, I
know.
think we have to because it's getting top of the bill on Sky. So we'll go in order of the game. So the 2 o'clock game is Livingston Hearts. I've got
Mhm.
to admit I'm torn with this one, right?
Looks an easy
Because
one, doesn't it, for Hearts, though? It does.
it looks an easy one, but Hearts have lost their last 3 away games. They
Fingers
lost
crossed
to
it
St
happens
Mirren,
again.
they lost to Kilmarnock, they lost to Rangers. Now Rangers you can excuse, right, because it can happen, right? But should they be losing to the third bottom, second bottom, and now you're sitting there going bottom? I don't think they'll lose though. I don't think they'll lose to Livingston because Livingston haven't won since August,
Mhm.
right? But Livingston under Bartley have been picking up points. They got a draw against Rangers.
Yep.
They got a draw against Hibs.
Mhm.
I think they're capable. I do. Like my head says Hearts will sneak it, but something tells me that if Rangers go top on the Saturday night, right, that'll spook Hearts because Hearts have went into every game since about what August,
Aye, there's not been anybody else top of the league,
top
isn't
of
there?
the
No,
league, and I just
we've not got a
wonder
chance to be top.
if they wake up Sunday morning and they go, oh, wait a minute, they're watching Sky Sports News or whatever,
I hope
and
we
they
win
see
as
that.
well, though. I mean, if
No, I
we
know
can
we'll
win,
come to
but
that, but I just think from a Hearts point of view, will the players look at it differently?
Mm.
Because if they're not top of the league, will they play with a bit of panic, bit of fear? And if they do play with fear, Livingston can get a 0-0 or a 1-1.
Mhm.
And I'm bordering on the first one, a 0-0, because
Yeah.
I just don't see a lot of goals in the Hearts team right now. I know Shanklin's
Well,
coming back,
Shanklin's back into, so
but let's be honest, how prolific is Shanklin really, right?
no, really
I
that
know
good
he
to be
scored
honest.
12 goals this year, right? But
That's not a
three
great
of them
return for a
against
striker, though.
three of them against Rangers, right? Two of which were one was a penalty, one was a goalkeeping error by Jack Butland. Do you remember that one at the near post? He
Aye.
completely made an absolute dicker. And one was a handball that shouldn't have counted. Albeit he scored a good finish. Did he score a penalty against Celtic possibly in the Brendan Rodgers game?
He might have done.
I feel like he might have.
I've probably erased that from my memory.
But I'm not looking at him scoring a lot of goals to open play, and I think if Hearts win it, it will be a set piece or a penalty.
Right.
But I'm gonna say 0-0. It would put Hearts back top. Don't worry. I know the math, but I think it will be 0-0.
Oh, you think they'll draw 0-0?
They'll draw 0-0 and go back top by a point, which then would set Celtic up with the opportunity to go two behind Rangers and three
Ah,
behind Hearts, which
provided
again would then just go
provided Rangers win.
title race. And I'm obviously I'm going on the predictions that I'm going on. I'm just
Aye.
setting it up with that. If that happened, then Celtic would be sitting there going, wait a minute, all of a sudden we're out of it.
I knew we've got a chance again.
And if you win again, you're within three of the top with six to
That's
play.
right. That's right.
And
Plus we've got yous and Hearts at Celtic Park as well coming up.
Yeah, and I know some people will say, "Oh, Celtic
And, you,
haven't beat either of these teams,"
and
and I
yous have
get
got to
that.
play Hearts as well. So hopefully that
Do you know,
finishes
weirdly,
maybe a wee
that's the
draw or
one
something.
game I'm not worried about.
What, that game? I
I
think
th-
Castle.
yeah, I think we'll win that comfortably. My
Right.
biggest worry is when I think when you win at Celtic Park, it's a rare, it's a very rare thing to do it twice, right?
Well, the way I'm thinking about it now is
Whereas we
because of what
lost at
happened last week.
Tynecastle, so I expect us to win one.
I don't think we're going to win the league. So if we end up winning it, it'll be brilliant. But I don't think we will.
But if we move on to the Dundee Celtic game, it's a tricky one because if you've got Ralston at right back, right, I think
Well,
that Yogan guy,
he's in, but he'd been there for the experience over Donovan, obviously. Well, Donovan's injured,
yeah,
isn't he? Or is he still injured? I don't really
I
know.
don't know. I'd need to know. I mean, he might have just been pulled out because they knew the Araujo
As,
thing.
maybe as a precaution. I don't know.
Aye. I just think that they could get at you down that left hand side. Like, put it this way, right? Dundee will score, right? Celtic will score. I'm sure of that, right? That's the thing I'm sure of.
That's what
Celtic,
I'm feeling. The fact that Dundee will score because we seem to be losing goals fucking left
I
and
actually
centre.
think both teams will score too. I just think Celtic might get the third
Right. I hope it's not
because
a 97th minute one again.
I don't think you'd care if it was because you
No,
just
I
want to
don't.
win
I
games.
know. I know. I
And
want to
games
win the game,
last
but
90 minutes.
it's sorry. It's great winning the games in the last minute as long as you know you're going to do it. But see that whole build up to it, and you
Oh,
think,
aye.
oh God, are we going to do
Look,
this?
I don't expect Celtic to win comfortably. In fact, I'll go as far as saying this, right? I don't think Celtic will win another game this season comfortably.
Oh, I
And
thought you were
I'd
going
be
to say
very
you added that bit at the end there comfortably.
and I'd be very surprised that if Rangers won another game this season comfortably.
Right. Or
Because
Hearts
if
even.
you
You
look
must
at
add Hearts in that,
no
then.
Hearts as well, because I look at Hearts' games away to Livingston, home to Motherwell, they ain't winning any of them comfortably, and they
That's a
ain't
tricky,
winning
two
any
tricky
after the
games.
split comfortably. They ain't going to Celtic Park and winning comfortably. They ain't going to
No.
Easter Road winning comfortably. They ain't beating Rangers comfortably. I don't think they're going to Falkirk and winning comfortably. You know,
Hmm.
I look at all their games and I look at Rangers though. Rangers, we ain't going to go to Falkirk and win 3-0 or anything
No.
like that.
Hopefully
Everything
not.
that Rangers do after maybe Saturday will be by a goal. I honestly believe that. I don't think any of us are really good enough.
Hmm.
I'm sure there'll be a 2-0 win or a 3-1, but it
Right.
still wouldn't be comfortable.
Well, not probably not. But
But
I'm hoping
no,
he's
I'm
don't.
going to
I'm
say
hoping he's
three
don't
two
win.
Celtic. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that in the sense that I think he's are weak defensively, but I still think there's goals in you.
I'm thinking for where unless Negrin scores it, you're thinking who's going to score?
Well,
Do you know?
you've you've always got like I mean Tierney's popped up with goals.
I
You
know.
know McGregor is probably due one.
Where would
Um,
we be? Where would we be with Negrin's goals though? Think of the goals he scored
oh,
this season. It's
you could
mental.
say that, but where would Hearts be without Braga?
I know.
Where would
But
where
Braga's
would
a
Rangers?
striker.
No,
Negrin's
but
not a striker.
where would Rangers be without Tavernier's goals? I know they haven't been in the numbers of previous years, but they're
Hmm.
always big goals, you know,
Aye. Hmm.
and they're not always penalties, despite your opinion. But
I think Celtic will win the game. I'm hoping that it is comfortable. I'm not too sure that it will be, but I'll go.
nah,
I'll say we'll go for a. We'll get a clean sheet. I'll say 2-0.
okay. I'm going to stick with 3-2, and if my results come in, you know, we could be talking about. In fact, I don't even think. Did you even predict the Hearts game?
Oh no, Hearts. I think Hearts. I'm hoping that they. I'd say I'm
See,
hoping
I
for
think
a
it's
draw
0-0 or 1-0 Hearts. I
because
can't see any other
I
score.
can't see them getting beat. So I would hope for a draw. So I'll say 1-1.
Okay. And if these scores happen, right, we could be talking about 3 points between three teams,
I know.
and that'd be mental with six to play.
I can't
But
handle
then, if
this.
you're going to next weekend, right, yous have got home to St Mirren.
No.
Uh,
I preferred it when
Hearts need to play
Celtic were
Motherwell.
15 points clear. I
Of course
prefer
you did,
that.
but it's not gonna. That won't be happening for a while yet. I don't
No,
think.
probably hopefully next season. Maybe not this
I
season, but
highly
obviously.
doubt it. I highly doubt any is win it comfortably next year.
I don't think Hearts will win it next year anyway.
I
I
think
think
they'll
this is
be
a
in
one
it.
off. No,
I
I think
think they'll
this is
be
a
in
one
it for.
off.
My only real reason I say that is because Celtic are going to
It's
have
a
to do.
Leicester. It's a one
No,
off.
but Celtic are going to have to do a massive overhaul of that squad, right?
Well, they will. Hopefully,
Right.
and they have to spend money, so they'll need to do it.
And Rangers will probably need to do quite a big overhaul. maybe not as big as Celtic, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I think there's not just Hearts. I think there's opportunities in this league for other teams if they get their shit together. Like Hibs, look at Hibs, right? If
Aye.
Hibs could have like got a prolific striker, I think they would have been in a title race.
If they hadn't a soul Bowie, they might have done something.
Well, maybe not just that, but if you look at other seasons where Boyle's maybe chipped in with more,
Aye.
um, I don't know. I just think
Do you know think they would? This is a thing. It's a crazy one, right? Do you know think that they would maybe take a chance and bring Lee Griffiths back? Is he still playing?
nah, he's playing at like second division in Australia,
Australia, is he?
so it's not even like he's
But I
done.
thought he might have. He could have
But
went
there's
back to Hibs to finish his career off, maybe.
but for me, a player that they should be looking at is Lyndon Dykes.
Hibs?
Like, I think he'd be a great striker for them, and I think he's a striker that would get
Would
them
he go
12
to
to
Hibs though?
15. Aye,
Think he
I
would.
think he'd go anywhere.
Where is he the now?
Charlton.
All right, I thought he was still at QPR.
No, I went to Charlton, to Birmingham, to QPR. Sorry, to
Oh,
Charlton. Sorry, sorry, I said it the other way around. QPR to
so
Birmingham to.
he's what you call a journeyman. He's all other bloody
Yes,
place.
but I think there's a few players that might look to come to the SPL. You
Hmm.
know, and I mean, look at Dwight Gale. Remember when he came up with like fucking 40 nearly, and he still
Aye,
looked decent.
aye.
Like his movement was still
He was
there.
a good. He was a good player when he was doing South. I know he was a
Aye,
really good player.
absolutely. And also, I think Motherwell, this will be a one season wonder for them because I think their manager will go, and I think their squad will get eaten alive by
You think
vultures.
Motherwell's manager will go at the end
Aye,
of the season? Where do you think
yeah,
he's
I
going?
think I think he's going to go somewhere east of Glasgow.
Do you think he's going to Celtic?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'd be stupid not to. If you're telling me right now the choice is
I think it's
some
Robbie Keane, isn't
some
it? Robbie
some
Keane's
div like
the name.
Bellamy
Looks like
or a
Robbie
fake
Keane to
like,
me. I don't
aye,
want Robbie Keane, but it looks like him.
I'd be delighted if it was Keane.
I don't want Robbie Keane. No, because of the whole Israel thing and all that. I'm
Oh,
not interested in
doesn't
that.
matter, but
But I'm
as a
telling you, in
manager,
terms of for experience and all that,
and
it's not
by
the
the way,
experience.
I think it'd be a great story for a manager to go away to Israel
But
and
then
Hungary and build their career. I think that's
Jens
admirable.
Jens Bertalascu hasn't got a lot of experience either, so you can't really
Yeah,
say.
but he has experience of the Scottish League.
I suppose.
He'll have he'll have had 1 year of training and what it's like in this goldfish bowl.
Well,
Because the
will he?
attention on Motherwell
Because he's
has no, but the attention on Motherwell has just grown and grown and grown. It's not at Celtic level, right? But I think he's got a better idea of the expectations of the big two, and I think he speaks like a Celtic manager.
I heard a lot of people say though that they would maybe prefer him to do another season at Motherwell to see if he can pull it off again. But I'm thinking that if he
I
stays
don't
another
think
season
he
at Motherwell, it
will.
might not last the
No,
season if he does well. He might be Oscar down to England somewhere.
put it this way, if you don't get him, somebody will.
Aye, I think an English team will come for him if we don't take
Or,
him.
I mean, any championship team
Aye,
would be looking at him.
and then he might end up in the Premier League, maybe one of the
I
mid
mean, put
table
it this
teams or
way,
something
who's
like that.
getting relegated down there? Right, Wolves. Right, Wolves would be a good example.
Tottenham.
If Wolves get relegated, if Wolves get relegated, are you telling me that they might stick with that guy because he's done all right actually,
Mhm.
Edwards, isn't he?
Aye.
But if you look at Burnley, are they going to go with Parker again, or are they just going to go?
No, I
Well,
think no. I
this
think
guy's a good
they'll get rid of
manager for the
Parker.
championship, but he's failed when he gets up there. So let's try something new.
Aye.
And
Well,
they
put it this way, he'll definitely be getting looked at,
oh,
Bertalascu, by clubs, definitely.
yeah, and not just in the UK.
Aye.
I could see
Mhm.
German teams and Scandinavian teams.
Aye. Because although at the minute you're saying it's a one season wonder with Motherwell and all that, and what can they do again? But this is what happens with managers. They have a really good season and then they get plucked by
The worst thing
somebody else.
is though is that the other good players will end up getting stolen.
Well, that's it. If he comes to
Like
Celtic, I would
what
love to see
Just still
Celtic
get.
get Maswanisi. I would love that.
I want Just. I like the look at him.
Well, Elijah Just has been linked with Celtic, so he might come there as well.
To me, he actually see what Negrin's doing for you.
Hmm.
I think Just could do that for us. Be that
Right.
goal scoring midfielder because we don't have that. You do, but he just isn't very good at football. He's just a great goal scorer.
He's good at goal scoring goals. I just wish he could do other things in the game. Exactly.
Influence it, but then
Aye.
maybe part of his issue is that what's been behind him has not been particularly great.
But
Like
I would.
it's not been a
This is the
top
thing as well.
McGregor year. It's
I
not
would
been a
play
good
him up front.
Hitata year.
I would play
I'd
Negrin
play him
through
up
the
top.
middle.
You could
Aye,
do.
because he's scoring goals, so why not?
But No, I think it'll be another interesting weekend. But honestly, I know Celtic fans are thinking, "Oh, it's the end of the world and they're out of the title race." But I'm telling you, put it this way,
Well,
right?
I think that at the minute.
I guarantee you, Hearts don't get 6 points for the last two games
I
before the
hope you're
split
right. I hope you're right.
because their
I
games
hope
are
you
away to
don't either.
Livingston. I think we might, but I don't think that we're getting 15 points after the split by any. Do you know what I mean? I think our tough games come when you need to go to Tynecastle and Celtic Park.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because let's be honest, if Rangers win both of them, they're probably going to win the league. But will they win both of them? I think they'll win one. You know, do you know what I mean? I could see Rangers getting one big performance,
Well, I hope you're right. I
but
hope they
this
don't
group
win
of
both.
players has not shown me that they can go and win 7 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the Celtic players have. And by the way,
No, they don't.
neither have the Hearts players. People keep saying that, oh, you know, Celtic have only won 4 games in a row this season, Rangers won 6. Hearts have only won 5. You
Well,
know,
this is it.
and
This is it.
it's not like they're blowing teams away.
Then plus also, well, the only one previous weekend this season, one
Aye,
weekend
I
this
know, it's
season,
mental.
we've all won in the one weekend. Celtic, Rangers, and Hearts have never all won
I mean, that's mental.
consistently. They've only won once
And and
altogether.
and by the way, I don't think that's changing in the next
Aye.
2 weeks because let's be honest, you wouldn't be surprised if Celtic drop points at Dundee. You wouldn't be surprised if Rangers drop points at
Oh,
Falkirk
I
or
don't
Hearts
want that.
drop points against Motherwell. I'm just saying,
I
would you
know.
really? You can't
No, really,
honestly sit
but I
there and
don't
go,
want them. They can't afford to drop any more points. We certainly cannot afford to drop any more points.
no, I don't think you can either
Otherwise, it is Rangers League or
because
Hearts League. But
I don't think yous are beating Hearts and Rangers. I can see he's beaten one,
we need to beat both.
and I just think that Old Firm games.
I think we can win the two games, but we
I'm
need to
telling you
be
right
at our
now,
best.
we're not doing predictions for May, right? But whether it's May the 2nd or whenever the hell it is, that Old Firm game's finishing a draw, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
There's nothing between us, and you look at every game this season, right?
Including the two cup games
Apart
in it.
from the Nancy game, every game is finished a draw in 90 minutes.
I think if Nancy wasn't there, I think we'd have won that game. I
And
think if Martin O'Neill had been there,
let's be honest though, there's no evidence to suggest that you'd have won that game. That one could have been another draw, you know,
it
because
could have been, but with the
Martin
momentum
O'Neill
that
hasn't
Martin
beaten
O'Neill was
Rangers
building, we
in
ended up,
90 minutes.
but we ended up leveling points with Hearts.
I
You
know,
know what I mean? And then Nancy comes in for the Hearts
yeah,
game, and we get
but
fucked,
I'm
and then
looking at
that's it.
all the Rangers Celtic games. You have to admit, every game has been very, very tight, very poor. Um,
Mm,
you know, and aside from a second half collapse, all the games have been really even.
aye.
You know, and
That's,
I don't see that changing in 3 weeks. Yet next season, yeah, Celtic could pump Rangers 3-0. Rangers could pump Celtic 3-0, right? Because they might have better
it
squads.
depends
But
on the
right now,
squads that
your
we've got
squad
next
and our
season as well.
squad are both a bit pish. And I
Aye.
don't think either of our squads are good enough to really pump the other one without
The thing that
red
annoys me,
cards or whatever.
we see the start of this season. We started off with a really strong squad, and we fucked it by
Did you?
getting rid. Well, I thought well, Kuhn was there. I thought Kuhn was good, right?
Well,
Obviously,
I
I think
couldn't was
Ida.
alright.
I
But
think
then he's another one that'll end up back at Celtic because he's pish.
if Ida had stayed at Celtic, I guaranteed I probably scored about 20 goals this season. He would have
See, I
done.
say the same thing about Dessers, but you just never know.
Well, I think he would have. I think he would have.
But would you? I think a lot of your problems, like our problems, has been the creation of chances, not the
That's
taking
right.
of them.
That's right.
You
You
know,
need you
so
need guys in the
because
middle,
everyone, I always see
wingers
Rangers fans
especially, to
going,
get the balls into the
"Oh,
box.
if Dessers was in this team, we'd be top of the league." And you're like, "Well, how many chances do you really see Chermiti, Miovski, and that missing? It's not
But
like they
look at
miss."
Dessers, right? He
And
scored
he
goals,
missed
but
about
how many did
10.
he miss? He
Aye,
missed sitters all the time.
exactly. So, but because we created a lot of chances for him.
Hmm.
So, no, I've got to admit, I think it's there's a lot to still be decided, and I just think that right now Hearts are slight favourites, but I think going into the split, I think we'll have another team as favourites. But I don't necessarily think the favourites
Hopefully,
will
it's
win the
Celtic.
league. I don't think Celtic will be favourites going into the split, but I think they'll be closer. Put it that way. They won't be 5 points behind.
I hope so.
I think you'll be 2 behind.
Well, all right, I hope so. I hope
And I
you're
think
right.
it'll be Rangers, you're 2 behind. And I think you might also be 2 behind Hearts. But It's a damn sight closer than 5 behind.
Aye, that is.
Especially when the pressure
Especially
on
when we've
both
got,
those teams need to go to your
especially when we've,
patch.
that's right.
Aye.
Especially when we've got Rangers and
And you
Hearts
need
at
to play
Celtic
each other.
Park.
Because all you need to do is one game, Rangers play each other. If it's a draw,
That's
you
right.
could be level.
Or
I
top,
mean,
depending on how results go. Exactly.
well, I think that's the worrying thing for Celtic is goal difference. Like that 2-0
Aye, that
defeat to Dundee United has
I
put you
know.
about 8 goals worse off than us.
I know.
And we're no prolific.
This is ridiculous in
But
terms of
how
our
bad
goals.
is
We
it
used to
that
bang the goals in.
Rangers are they've got the best goal difference at plus 30?
It's
That's
mental, and
terrible.
they had their shittiest start to the
No,
season
but
ever, probably in about
how
40 odd
terrible is
years.
plus 30? Celtic at this point last year were plus 67 or something.
Aye, I know. Aye, but
I
look
think
at the players
Rangers
that we've lost.
Rangers were pish, but we were plus 50 odds.
Did we not have Kyogo last season? I know we had Kyogo
Well, for
until
half the
January.
season, aye.
Aye,
Well, we had
so
Dessers missing 200 chances and
but
scoring
Celtic have
25.
been downgrading. Celtic have been selling players and no replacing them with adequate replacements for over a year now.
In Rangers, let's be honest, this was always just a first season under the new management and the new owners. I think we'll be a lot stronger next year. I really believe that. Whether we win a trophy this year or not,
I hope
I
you eat
think
your
we'll
words. I
be.
hope you know.
I think we will be mental stronger next year, and I mean that as in if we're not at least 10 points better off at this point next year, I'd be disappointed because we can't
But
start
what
like
happens?
that
What
again.
happens if next season he start badly again and then he's away by Christmas? What happens then?
Anything could happen, but I just
I'm
don't
not
see
saying
it.
we're going to
I
be
think
great either, but because we need a new
I
manager.
don't see it because if we stick with the manager that we've got right now, he knows Scottish football. He knows it now. He has more preparation. Russell Martin came in with an arrogance that he thought, we can just beat all these wee shitty teams, and we
And you
only
get
only need
people
to
like
try
that.
against Celtic.
You get people
But
like that
whereas
that come
Danny
to
Rose
Scotland.
came in, and to be fair, he's given every team respect
Well, I
because
suppose
he
it
came
is.
in and his team were ninth in the league, so you
He
can't
doesn't
not
really
give them respect.
he doesn't really mention Celtic by name when he talks about us though, and I
Yeah,
don't
but
like
that's
that.
just an old firm thing. That's just
I don't like
but
that.
Celtic do it too.
That's not very respectful.
They do it too. You do it too. And I
Martin
mean, I
O'Neill doesn't
remember
do it.
who was it? No, but who was the one after the other game? McCowan kept calling us them. Who gives a shit? Like at the end of the day, all they're doing is trying to appease the numpties in the fan base.
I know that. I know
Like
that.
I'll always call them Celtic because you're Celtic, but I don't care if my fans do it because at the end of the day, if you want to play up to a minority, who cares? There's worse things. You know what I mean?
Aye.
I'd be far more offended if he was doing something ridiculous, but if you play up to a small amount, it just happens.
I know.
Ange used to do it too, and he's still a good guy.
Aye, I know. That's right.
He's a good guy, but he used to play to the idiots. It happens, like calling it a Glasgow derby. So,
I call it the Glasgow Derby. I'm sorry,
of
I
course
do
you
that.
do, because you're, it's still what it was. By
Well,
the way,
for
the only
me, the
thing that
reason I
makes
do
it
it is
not
because
what it was
it winds up the diddies. To be honest,
doesn't
it
wind me
winds
up.
up the idiots.
Doesn't wind me up. The only thing that
No,
would wind me
you.
up
I'm not
is
talking
if
about you.
you.
There is some people it does wind
The only
up.
thing that will ever wind me up is if you finish ahead of us. I don't care what you call it. You can call it a fucking tiddlywink derby. At the end of the day, it's if we finish ahead of you, I'm grinning or something. If you finish ahead of us, you're grinning or something.
If we played
And
each
by the
other
way,
at Tiddlywinks, I'd still want Celtic to win.
we'd still find a way of no scoring. But, uh, but anyway, we'll leave it there and we'll be back on next Monday
Yep.
where we will unpack all of the weekend's football. We'll have a wee touch on the Scotland game that's tomorrow, but probably only a wee 5 minutes. And we'll discuss any other talking points that may come up between now and then. But thanks again for everyone who watched and anyone the comments. I'm sure next Monday will be more interactive when we have a lot more to talk about
And we've got the real football back.
another weekend of mental Scottish football.
Yeah,
But
and
after this, it is the home straight. It really is.
It's
There's no more breaks apart from the one
the
cup
last
one.
furlong.
Yep. So let's bring it on.
Yep, and then before we go, as I say, if we want you to like and subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing and watching, and don't forget to comment on the videos as well, because all of that is much appreciated. But aye,
Cool.
there you go.
Right. Well, I'll see you next week.
Right. Cheers.
Right.
See you
Have
later.
a good Easter. Bye.
Right. You
Bye.
too, mate. Right. Bye bye.